Jumping into the mailbag today at the OZone to answer all your Leafs questions. You're in the offensive zone, your place for Leafs hockey. Hey folks, welcome to the OZone. That's Coach, that's Katie, and I'm the Devo. We're here to talk all things Leafs. We're going to hit up the mailbag.
All right, mailbag segment here. Send us your questions. We're willing to take on anything. Use your social medias, your Twitters, or your emails, or your YouTubes, and bring them our way. Be sure to subscribe and hit like. We have one from Mrs. Coach. Hold on one sec. Let me put on the old glasses here. Hey guys, I'm going to Leaf games in Vegas and Arizona in January. What Leafs jerseys should I ask for Christmas? Side note, Coach, since I am getting a new jersey for Christmas, I hope we have good seats. Well, this is a good question. So,
Pressure's on, Coach.
Yeah, there's a bunch of ways you could go. You could go and do the FU and get maybe a Kessel jersey for Arizona. You could do contemporary stuff. Generally, with the way that the team is nowadays, you kind of have to do, a star. I think a lot of the guys who are the lower players, they're around for a year or two and then gone. It's hard to wrap your head around buying a jersey for that. I think throwbacks. I think we can look at the Coach. Big fan of Salmon. I'm not sure if you want to go that far back. I think always the people who've been around to see a Stanley Cup all have Davey Keelan. So I'm not sure if you want to go back that far. You also want to have someone that you like or whatever. I see you as a Coach as kind of a plucky forward. So maybe you look at Wendell or maybe a Darcy Tucker as a throwback. Maybe you could throw something on where you still get that respect for a good run. But you get someone who had a little bit of piss and vinegar in them. That might be a way to go.
You might want to think about getting the Pierre Engvall scarf.
I can't afford that.
Which is going to be a hot commodity this Christmas. Coach, what do you think?
Well, look, there's a number of ways you could look at this, as KD was saying. So, do you go vintage or do you go current roster? Do you go home or away? You got to think about all these things. To me, I think you want to go with a player that you like. And, I go to a bunch of games every year, as you know. There's always, in visiting barns, there's always a ton of Gilmores. There's always a ton of Wendells. There's a bunch of Sundins, too. Mm-hmm. The one you see most of all these days is Matthews.
Right.
So Matthews, he leads jersey sales on NHL.com still.
Yeah.
I think for the past 4 years he's led.
I don't think he's close.
So
no.
Everybody has it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do that.
Right.
And then, Kev, you alluded to this contract length is something too. So with Morgan Riley just signing and Mrs. Coach, your one hockey-playing son is a defenseman too, I think you got to go Morgan Riley.
Yeah. Could be a good call.
Now, let's not talk us into getting a home and away, a Riley and something else, because we're going to 2 games. You can reuse that.
Right.
And my thought on home versus away is this: I think you got to get the blue one, because if you're gonna go put it in a trophy case, the white one looks sharp. If you're gonna wear it, trust me, you're gonna spill some stuff on it. You want the dark one.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I for the Blue Jays, I always get white jerseys because it's summertime. It's hot out there. I wear the white, the white jersey out there. But yeah, you got to get the blue. We're a blue team.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
What Jays jersey you got, Devo?
Well, I actually have a blank one right now. I've been scouring. Listen, folks, if you can find one for me, I'm looking for a vintage 22 Jimmy Key powder blue.
Oh, the young left-hander.
My one of my favorite players growing up. Met him when I was just a young fella back in 1985. Was a gracious guy. He and Willie Upshaw were really nice to me.
Tough playoff loss in '85.
Yeah,
up 3-1. That was a tough one. I think I don't have. I had a Tony Fernandez. Don't know where that went. I can't find it. I think I might go Dave Steve or Vladdy.
Yeah.
Vladdy's pretty.
This could be a good one.
Yeah. We'll see what happens in the offseason. Maybe a second baseman might be in your future, too. He was pretty solid for us this year.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the Leafs, folks. I think we got another question, Coach.
Yeah, we got one here. Thanks for tweeting this out. Greg Beal tweets this in at Bealsy63. Side note, I caddied for Bealsy 20 years ago. I believe it was the Canadian Open. No, it was the Toronto Municipal golf tournament. And I think we came fourth. It's pretty good. He could play. Went to Eastern Michigan on a golf scholarship. Played a little bit on the Canadian Tour, I think. So anyway, Bealsy says, does it not seem as though the Buds have abandoned the puck possession game in favor of a more traditional dump and chase method and then work the cycle? And does it not seem to be getting a better result over the past 5 games or so?
It's a great question, Greg. I would say watch the highlights from last night. There was a lot of zones taken with speed and ease by the Leafs last night. Not as much need as a dump and chase as we've seen earlier in the year. I think, by and large, you got to take what the team gives to you. If they're standing still and they're up in the neutral zone, you dump it in and get behind them. The Leafs have been able to do that a bit this year, maybe a little bit more than they did last year. But if you look at their possession numbers, they're still up around the top of the league. So I don't know if that's truly bearing out, but they're certainly dumping seemingly a little bit more than they did early last year. That's for sure.
I might argue actually they're dumping out of their zone more than they did last year. I'm not sure if that is by design or just a small sample size, but it does look like they are chipping it out when they get the opportunity. Sometimes you see the flip happen. That stuff we haven't seen since the Zaitsev days. So I don't mind it. I think every situation bears a different, a different strategy or outcome. I think at times last year they were trying to control the puck out of their zone to a fault, and it was getting them into trouble and getting the forecheck was just too great, and they just weren't able to pass their way out of it. So I don't mind using both. I think always this is a team their DNA is possession, so they're always going to try and control the puck when they can. But again, I don't mind off the glass or flip it out if you need to and reset. I mean that's just hockey. It happens so fast.
Yeah, it's true. And I'm thinking back to the first 2 or 3 games when really the best player the Leafs had was probably Spezza, at least most consistent. And he got the puck over the red line. He had no problems dumping it in. His line mates are big boys, and they skate downhill anyways, so that kind of helped on the forecheck. But he also was the only forward they had that could gain the zone carrying the puck as well for the first 3 games. So you take what the D gives you, I think.
My take is that, if you can work the cycle game, that is possession. So that's part of the question here. But I do think they're dumping a little. They have dumped a little more, and during this win streak, and I don't think it's a coincidence. And here's why: I think they were getting themselves in trouble at our own blue line and at the other team's blue line, and you can't turn the puck over there in either case. So chipping it out, Kev, as you said, yes, that has to happen because of course you want to pass it out of the zone, but if you can't do that, you cannot turn it over there. And worse, if you're going in with speed and you're trying to carry it in and you turn it over, it's an odd man rush going the other way every time. So in the effort to simplify things after getting crushed in Pittsburgh and Carolina, right, to simplify things, get it deep. We're not a heavy fork-checking team, but we're good at getting the puck back. And when we do, we can cycle, and we're pretty solid. So, I think all of the above applies. Hey, Greg, thanks a lot for the question. By the way, boys, it's our first ever mailbag question from Paducah, Kentucky, which is where Bealsy is loaded up. He's a regular over at Paducah Country Club, Augusta.
I spent a week there one night.
Oh, yeah.
I hear Paducah's lovely this time of year. Yeah.
It's the Paris of the Prairies. Yeah.
Listen, Sorry to cut you off there, Coach. Listen, bring your questions, people. Hit the like button. Keep subscribing. Keep bringing the questions. We love getting them. We're your fans of the old Ozone here. Keep them coming.